Hi everyone! In today's English lesson, we are going to be looking at the third and final stanza of the poem The Owl and the Pussycat. In this lesson, we will be taking a closer look at some of the language in this poem and we will be exploring the rhyme scheme. For this lesson, you're going to need some paper, a pen or pencil, and your story map from Monday and Tuesday. So just pause the video now and make sure that you've got everything that you need. The owl and the pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea green boat. They took some honey and plenty of money wrapped up in a £5 note. Owl looked up to the stars above and sang to a small guitar. "Oh, lovely pussy, oh pussy, my love, what a beautiful pussy you are, you are, you are, what a beautiful pussy you are." I'm going to read the third stanza of the poem now. I want you to listen carefully for any words that are unfamiliar. Note them down if you can. "Dear pig, are you willing to sell for 1 shilling your ring?" Said the piggy, "I will." So they took it away and were married next day by the turkey who lives on the hill. They dined on mince and slices of quince, which they ate with a runcible spoon. And hand in hand, on the edge of the sand, they danced by the light of the moon, the moon, the moon, they danced by the light of the moon. Are there any words here that you aren't sure of the meaning of? I found some unusual ones. I wonder if we have the same ones. Shilling. A shilling is an old coin that used to be used many years ago. It's worth about 12p. That's not a lot for a gold ring. Dined. This means to eat. You might have been able to work that one out by reading the sentence in full. They dined on mince and slices of quince. But if you're not sure what mince and quince are, they're both types of food. Mince is a food that has been chopped up very finely. Quince is a small pear-shaped fruit often used in preserves. For example, quince jelly is something that people might eat with cheeses. So the first time I heard this poem, I thought that this word was made up. This is a runcible spoon. So a runcible spoon is like a cross between a spoon and a fork. Did you think any of those words were made up? When you read a nonsense poem, it's sometimes hard to know if a new word is real or not, so it's always good to look it up or ask an adult if you're not sure. Do you think you can remember the meaning of the unusual words that we looked at yesterday? See if you can match the word to the definition. So the words are elegant, foul, tarried, and bong tree. Pause the screen while you do this, and when you're ready to play again, the answers will be ready for you. Well done if you got them all right. In today's lesson, we are going to be thinking about how this poem rhymes. I'd like you to pause for a moment and read the third stanza. Write down any rhyming pairs that you can find. Pause for a moment and then press play when you are ready to go through the answers. In some of the lines, there are rhyming pairs that are pretty easy to spot. Let's find them now. Dear pig, are you willing to sell for 1 shilling? Willing and shilling. Your ring, said the piggy, I will. No rhyming words in that line. So, they took it away and were married next day. Away and day both rhyme in that line. Now going on to the next line. By the turkey who lives on the hill. No rhyming words in that line either. They dined on mince and slices of quince. Mince and quince rhyme in that line. Which they ate with a runcible spoon. I can't find any rhyming words in that line. And hand in hand on the edge of the sand. Hand and sand both rhyme. They danced by the light of the moon. The moon, the moon. They danced by the light of the moon. So in the last 4 lines, there aren't any rhyming words, but there is quite a bit of repetition. Now I want you to have a look closely and see if you can find something very interesting about the structure of this poem by looking at the lines that do not have a rhyming pair in them. I'll show you this now with highlights on so you can see the ones that you need to look at. Well done if you spotted some more rhyming words. So you should see on the second line it says, your ring, said the piggy, I will. Then look to the 4th line, by the turkey who lives on the hill. Will and hill both rhyme. Now look a bit further down to the 6th line, which they ate with a runcible spoon. And further down now to the 8th line, they danced by the light of the moon. Spoon and moon both rhyme too. Take a look again at the first and second stanza. See if you can find the rest of the rhyming pairs. Pause the video when you need and I'll go through the answers at the end. Your task for today's lesson is to complete your story map for the 3rd and final stanza of the poem, so that by tomorrow's lesson you should have your story map for the entire poem. Keep practicing and see if you can learn one stanza off by heart. I'll put up an example of my story map again so that you can take some ideas. Tomorrow you're going to start to create your own version of this poem. Pussy said to the owl, "You elegant fowl, how charmingly sweet you sing. Oh, let us be married, too long we have tarried, but what shall we do for a ring? They sailed away for a year and a day to the land where the bong tree grows, and there in a wood a piggy wig stood, with a ring at the end of his nose, with a ring at the end of his nose.